shame left.
Why have you eaten muffins? That looks like crab dance.
They don't seem to notice that at all. Couldn't you cough?
But I haven't got a cough.
They're looking at us. What you from, Terry?
They're approaching. It is very forward of them.
Let us preserve dignified silence.
Certainly, this is the only thing to do now.
The dignified silence seems to produce an unpleasant effect.
A most distasteful one.
But we will not be the first to speak.
Certainly not.
Mr. Wapping, I have something very particular to ask you, but depends on your reply.
Gwendolen, your common sense is invaluable. Mr. Moncrief, kindly answer me the following question. Why did you pretend to be my guardian's brother?
In order that I may have the opportunity of meeting you.
That certainly seems a satisfactory explanation, does not?
Yes, dear, if you can believe him.
I do not, but that does not affect the word beauty of its answer.
Sure, in matter of great importance, style, but sincerity of the little thing. Mr. Wapping, what explanation can you offer to me for pretending to have a brother? Was it in order that you might have an opportunity of coming up to town to see me as often as possible?
Can you doubt it, Miss Fairfax?
I have the greatest doubts upon the subject, but I intend to crush them.
I am more than content with what Mr. Moncrief said.
Then you think we should forgive them?
Yes, I mean no.
True, I had forgotten. There are principles at stake that one cannot surrender. Which of us should tell them? The task is not a pleasant one.
Could we not speak both at the same time?
An admirable idea. I nearly always speak at the same time as other people. Will you take the time for me?
Certainly. Your Christian names are still an insuperable barrier. That is all.
Our Christian names is that all, but we are going to be Christians this afternoon.
For my sake, you are prepared to do this terrible thing.
I am.
Please me, you are ready to face this fearful ordeal?
I am. How absurd to talk about the equality of sexes. When the question of self-sacrifice is concerned, men are infinitely beyond us.
We are.
Darling.
Lady Bracknell.
Good heavens!
Gwendolen! What does this mean?
Merely that I am engaged to be married to Mr. Wapping, Mamma.
Come here. A private, sir, of my daughter's sudden flight by her trusty maid, whose confidence I purchased by means of a small coin. I followed her at once by a luggage train. You must clearly understand that all communication between yourself and my daughter must cease immediately from this moment. On this point, and it is on all points, I am firm.
I am engaged to be married to Gwendolen, Lady Bracknell.
You are nothing of the kind, sir. And now, as regards Algernon. Algernon, may I ask you if it is this place that your invalid friend Mr. Bunbury resides?
Oh no, Bunbury doesn't live here. Bunbury is somewhere else. Actually, Bunbury is dead.
Dead? When did Mr. Bunbury die? His death must have been extremely sudden.
Yeah, I killed Bunbury this afternoon. Poor Bunbury died this afternoon.
What did he die of?
Oh, he was quite exploded.
Exploded?
Yeah.
Well, and now that we have finally got rid of this Mr. Bunbury, may I ask you, Mr. Worthing, who is this young person whose hand my nephew Algernon is now holding in what seems to me a preliminary, unnecessary manner?
This is Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
I'm engaged to be married to Cecily and Augustin. I beg your pardon?
Mr. Moncrief and I are engaged to be married.
The number of engagements that go on in this particular part of Hertfordshire seems to me considerably above the proper average. I think some preliminary enquiry on my part wouldn't be out of place. Mr. Worthing, is Miss Cardew at all connected with any of the larger railway stations in London? I really desire information. Until yesterday, I had no idea that there are any families or persons whose origin was a terminus.
Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew. Miss Cardew's family solicitors are Messrs. Malby, and Malby.
Malby. A firm of the very highest position in their profession. So far I am satisfied. I had better ask you, Mr. Worthing, if Miss Cardew fortune?
Oh, about £130,000 in the funds. That is all, I believe. Goodbye, Lady Bracknell. So pleased to have seen you.
A moment, Mr. Worthing. £130,000. And in funds. Miss Cardew seems to me a most attractive young lady now that I look at her. Kindly turn around, your child. No, the side view is what I want. Yes, quite as I expected. There are distinct social possibilities in your profile. Algernon?
Yes, Augusta?
There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's profile.
Cecily is the dearest, prettiest, sweetest girl I ever saw, and I don't care two pence about social possibilities.
Do never speak disrespectfully of society, Adrianna. Only people who can't get into it do that. I suppose I must give my consent.
Thank you, Augusta.
Cecily, you may kiss me.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell.
You may also address me as Aunt Augusta for the future.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
I beg your pardon for interrupting you, Lady Bracknell, but this engagement is quite often out of the question. Miss Cardew is my ward, and she cannot marry without my consent. That consent I absolutely decline to give.
Upon what grounds, may I ask? Algernon is an extremely, I may as well say, ostentatiously eligible young man. He has nothing, but he looks everything. What more can one desire?
It pains me very much to have to speak frankly to you, Lady Bracknell, about your nephew, but the fact is, I do not approve at all of his moral character. I suspect him of being untruthful.
Untruthful? My nephew Algernon? Impossible!
I fear there can be no possible doubt about the matter. This afternoon, during my temporary absence in London on the important question of romance, he obtained admission to my house under the false pretense of being my younger brother. He subsequently stayed duty and devoured every single muffin.
Mr. Worthing, after careful consideration, I decided entirely to overlook my nephew's conduct to you.
That is very generous of you, Lady Bracknell. My decision, however, is unalterable. I decline to give my consent.
Come here, sweet child. How old are you, dear?
Well, I am really 18, but I always admit to 20 when I go to evening parties.
Well, it will not be very long before you are of age and free of the restraints of tutelage, so I don't think your guardian's consent is, after all, a matter of any importance.
Pray excuse me, Lady Bracknell, for interrupting you again, but it is only fair to say that according to her grandfather's will, Miss Cardew does not legally come of age until she is 35.
It does not seem to me to be a grave objection. 35 is a very attractive age. London society is full of women of the highest birth who are 35 of their own free choice. Lady Dumbledon is an instant in point. She's been 35 ever since she arrived 30, which was many years ago.
Algie, could you wait for me till I was 35?
Of course, darling. You know I could.
Yes, I felt it instinctively, but I couldn't wait all this time. I hate waiting even 5 minutes for anybody.
So what is to be done?
I do not know, Mr. Moncrief.
My dear Mr. Worthing, as Miss Cardew states positively that she cannot wait till she is 35, a remark which I am bound to say seems to me to show a somewhat impatient nature. I would beg of you to reconsider your decision.
But, my dear Lady Bracknell, everything is in your own hands. The moment you consent to my marriage with Gwendolen, I will most gladly allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
You must be quite aware that what you propose is out of the question.
Well, then a passionate celibacy is all that any of us can wait forward to.
This is not the destiny I propose for Gwendolen. Algernon, of course, can choose for himself. Come, dear.
Everything is quite ready for christening.
The christenings, sir. Is that not somewhat premature? Both these gentlemen have expressed a desire for immediate baptism. At their age, the idea is grotesque and irreligious. Algernon, I forbid you to be baptized.
Am I understand? Then that there are to be no christening this afternoon?
I am afraid that as things are now, it would be of non-practical value to either of us, Dr. Chasuble.
I am grieved to hear such sentiments from you, dear Mr. Walton. I will return to the church at once. I have just been informed that Miss Prism has been waiting for me in the vestry.
Miss Prism? Did I hear you mention a Miss Prism?
Yes, Lady Bracknell, I'm on the way to join her.
Pray allow me to detain you for a moment. Is this Miss Prism a female of a recent aspect remotely connected with education?
Miss Prism, Lady Bracknell, has been for the last 3 years Miss Cardius' esteemed governess and valued companion.
I must see her at once. Let her be sent for.
She approached. She is coming.
I was told you expected me in the vestry, dear Canon. I have been waiting for you for an hour and 3/4.
Prism? Come here, Prism. Prism, where is that baby? 28 years ago, you left Lord Bracknell's house in charge of a perambulator that contained a baby of a male sex. You never returned. A few weeks later, through the elaborate investments of the Metropolitan Police, the perambulator was found at midnight, standing by itself in a remote corner of the Bayswater. It contained the manuscript of the 3-volume novel of more than usual revolting sentimentality. But the baby was not there. Pris, where is that baby?
Lady Bracknell, I admit with shame that I do not know. I only wish I did. The plain facts on the case are these. On the morning of the day you mentioned, the day that is forever branded in my memory, I prepared as usual to take the baby and its perambulator. I also had with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag in which I intended to place the manuscript of a work of fiction that I had written during my few unoccupied hours. In a moment of mental abstraction that I can never forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and the baby in the handbag.
But where did you deposit the handbag?
Do not ask me that, Mr. Worthing.
Miss Prism, that is a matter of no small importance to me. I insist on knowing where did you deposit the handbag that contained that infant?
In the cloakroom of one of the larger railway stations in London.
What railway station?
Victoria's, the Brighton line.
I must retire to my room for a moment. Gwendolen, wait here for me.
If you are not too long, I will wait here for you all my life.
Uncle Jack seems strangely agitated.
This suspense is terrible. I hope it will last.
Is this the handbag, Miss Prism? Examine it carefully before you speak. The happiness of more than one life depends on your answer.
It seems to be mine. Yes, here in the log are my initials. It has been a great inconvenience being without it all the years.
Miss Prism, more is restored to you than this handbag. I was a baby you placed in it.
You?
Yes, mother.
Mr. Worthing became unmarried.
Unmarried. I do not deny this is a serious blow, but after all, who has the right to cast the stones on one who has suffered? Mother, I forgive you.
Mr. Worthing, there seems to be slight error. Where is the lady who can tell you who you really are?
Lady Bracknell, I hate to seem inquisitive, but would you kindly inform me who I am?
I'm afraid that the news I have to give to you won't altogether please you. You're the son of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently, Algernon's elder brother.
Algy's elder brother? Then I have a brother. I knew I had a brother. Algy, you young scoundrel, you will have to treat me with more respect in the future. You never treated me like a brother before.
Well, not till today, old boy, I admit.
Lady Bracknell, please meet my younger brother, Algernon. Miss Prism, have you met my younger brother, Algernon? Excuse me, have you met my younger brother, Algernon? And you, have you met him? Very well. Gwendolen, have you met Algernon yet? It is my younger brother.
I know, but how old are you now? What is your Christian name now that you have become someone else?
Oh, I had quite forgotten that point. Your decision on the subject is, I suspect, irrevocable.
I never change, except in my actions.
What a noble nature you have, Gwendolen.
Then the question had better be cleared up at once. Aunt Augusta, at the moment Miss Prism left me in the handbag, was I Christianed already?
Every luxury that money could buy, including christening, had been lavished on you by your fond and doting parents.
Then I was Christianed, that is settled. Now, what name was I given? Let me know the worst.
Being Algernon's elder brother, you were naturally christened after your father.
But what was my father's Christian name?
I cannot recall at the present moment what was the general's Christian name.
Algie, can you recollect what our father's Christian name was?
We were never even on speaking terms. He died before I was a year old.
Aunt Augusta, the general's name, our father's, would appear in the army list of the period, I suppose.
The general was essentially a man of peace, expecting his domestic life. But I have no doubt that his name would appear in any military directory.
Very well. Army lists of the last 40 years are here. Generals, Malan, Magby, what ghastly names they have. Magby, Mixby, Mops, Moncrief, Lieutenant 1840, Captain, Lieutenant, Colonel, General, 1869, Christian names, Ernest, John. I always told you, Gwendolen, my name was Ernest, didn't I? Well, it is Ernest after all. I mean, it naturally is Ernest.
Yes, so I remember. The general was called Ernest. I knew I had some particular reason for disliking the name.
Gwendolen, it is a terrible thing for a man to find out that suddenly, that all his life, he has been speaking nothing but the truth. Can you forgive me?
I can, for I feel that you are sure to change.
My own one.
Darling.
My nephew, you seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, for the first time in my life, I have realized the vital importance of being earnest.
Yes, sir.